Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. My name is Bill Horan and I'm here today with my co-host, Nassau Community College student Corey Kaufman. And today we're shining the spotlight on a camp that provides fun for kids with cancer and their siblings, and all free of charge.
It's called Sunrise Day Camp, and from what I understand, it's a very special and unique experience for these children and their family.
Well, today we're going to find out more. I'd like to introduce our guest, Camp Director Deanna Slade, and Vice President of SunriseWALKS and Standards, Aileen Hoffman. Deanna and Aileen, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies, tell us, first off, what is Sunrise Day Camp and where is it located?
So Sunrise Day Camp is one portion of the Sunrise Association, which started in 2006. Our founder, Arnie Preminger, learned back in 2006 that there was not one single day camp, full summer day camp in the world for children with cancer. So he decided it was time to start it. And we started it out here on Long Island, our first camp out in Wheatley Heights, which was the beginning of the most amazing organization, the Sunrise Association. Arnie started this because, one, there was a big need, and his idea was to have it for children with cancer. And then what he did is he spoke to people in the community to ask them what they thought. And doctors and nurses and lay leaders all thought it was a great idea. But then he spoke to the parents of children with cancer, and they said, it's a great idea, except please don't do it unless you include our other children, because in some ways our other children who don't have cancer are suffering worse than our child with cancer, because it really handicaps the entire family. So he said, of course, we'll include the siblings. And then the next thing they said was, we can't afford it. Camp, whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, is an expensive experience for children. And when families are dealing with a child who is ill, it impacts the families financially, in many cases devastates them. So Arnie made a pledge back in 2006 never to charge one single dollar for anything that we do. And since when, we've grown exponentially.
And two things I want to bring out there, as you said, this is a free camp.
Yes.
I mean, that's almost amazing in today's day and age. And that it works with the siblings. And you were telling me before the show, this is a worldwide organization. It's not just here on Long Island, which is what I thought of when you usually think of a camp. It's something local and kids have fun. This is worldwide.
Yes, this is worldwide. And in some cases, it's the best kept secret even on Long Island.
Oh, I like that for the next branding. Best kept secret.
So Long Island is our largest camp, but we have 7 other camps. We have a camp in Pearl River, New York. We have a camp in Staten Island. We have a camp in Atlanta, in Baltimore. We have 3 in Israel. And we're opening up our 9th camp in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which will service children in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware.
You're obviously doing something right.
Yes,
it's not the obvious. Corey?
Wow. Why do you think it took until 2006 for someone to open up a camp like this for children with cancer?
I'm not exactly sure why it took so long. I think, well, actually, there are many other beautiful services that are sister agencies to us that are sleepaway camps. And many children benefit from the sleepaway experience. They get to go for a week or 2 or sometimes even longer than that. But for some reason, no one was doing the day camp. Many people would struggle with sending their child away to camp, even if they're not sick. So sending your child to camp, a sleepaway camp, wasn't an option for many parents. So when Arnie found out that there wasn't a single day camp, he just thought, he really had no idea that this was going to grow the way it has. His idea was to start a little small camp here on Long Island, and what would be, would be.
And now you got camps in Israel.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we started with 96 children enrolled our first summer, with an average of about 35 children coming each day that first summer. And this summer, what was our enrollment?
We had 700 children enrolled on Long Island alone.
That's one camp?
That's on our Long Island camp, yep.
Wow.
And we had we averaged about 370 kids at camp on a daily basis. We, for all of our campsites, we in addition to not obligating the families financially, we also don't obligate them to enroll and then be there every day for attendance, because that's another stressor. So what we do is we say, once you're enrolled and we have all of your paperwork, you can really come to camp. You're enrolled for the summer. You can come to camp any day. So while we had about 370 kids there a day, we probably had altogether 650 kids that actually attended at least one day during the summer season.
That's really great. Now, the idea of the siblings, that's something, and not only is it more costly for you folks on the end, you're doing all this for free, but to invite the siblings, that could be 1, 2, or 3 brothers and sisters that someone has, but let's even assume they have one. That's doubling the amount. Who came up with this, and how does that work?
Well, as Aileen mentioned before, this was really the brainchild, this beautiful brainstorm of Arnie Preminger, our founder. Arnie's experience in history and field was within the camping services. So the benefits of camp in general for even a child who isn't ill is truly wonderful and great. It fosters independence and friendship and social skills and different life skills. But I think that, again, as Aileen said before, after interviewing and speaking with the community, the cancer community, and the families that were impacted by cancer, there's been a lot of research that shows and a lot of personal feelings that indicate that everybody in the family is affected by this terrible disease. And when one child is going through it, the buck doesn't stop there. Every child in the family is going through it. And it's something that needs to be recognized. And so we don't, as a matter of fact, when we're at camp, we don't even identify who does and who does not have cancer unless there's a medical reason, because the underlying common denominator is that these are just kids and they just want to come to camp to have fun.
That's so great that they can be just normal, part of the group. It doesn't stand out that they have cancer. They're not in a separate group. And it's very kind and very perceptive of the originator, Arnie, to have thought of this and to be willing to do it, and for all the people who support the camp, etc., to take part in it.
Absolutely.
And why is it so important for this program to include both the children with cancer and their siblings? Like, what are some of the social aspects that maybe the children with cancer and their siblings miss out on?
There's so many layers, and I could give you as many answers as I can. But, when you think about children in a family that are going through this emotional, situation when their sibling or they themselves are ill, and then you layer the financial pieces to it, and then running your child to the hospital for doctor's appointments or treatments or therapies, or for even in some cases some inpatient situations, all of a sudden everybody in the family, extracurricular activities are not so important anymore. And so playing soccer and being on a playground, or going to dance class, parents, they can only do so much. And so it's very hard to get your children to those areas. And then in addition to that, children who have a suppressed immune systems can't typically go to a public place because they can get ill much easier. And so there's a lot of precaution taken with all of the children in the household, many times depending on the situation with the child who's been diagnosed and going through treatment, as to bringing germs into the home. And so when we get to a place like Sunrise Day Camp, the little things that parents tend to not even think about. I'm a parent and my kids want to go to the playground. I don't even think twice about it. Let's go to the playground. But now we have facilities that allow our kids to do all of those activities where the parents don't have to think twice. They know that we have everything wiped down in between activities, that we're constantly washing our hands, that nobody can be at camp if they're ill in any way, shape, or form. And so I think it's bringing those regular activities back to the lives of a lot of these kids. So there's one piece, and then another part to that is that very often the siblings and the child who's ill can't play together for all of those reasons that I just mentioned, or they're in isolation in the hospital, or they just can't do the same things anymore. And so I think that camp is an opportunity for these kids to hang out together again and to start playing games together again. And another point is that now all of these kids are in a space where everybody there understands. Mm-hmm. Everybody there is going through the same thing. They might have different stories, that are leading them in different directions in terms of their lives, but certainly there's this underlying common denominator that they all get it. Mm-hmm. They know that when somebody gets sick, they know the language, right? It's unspoken. And so, they're identifying with each other. And it also gives the kids an opportunity to hang out with their peers, which, depending on the home life and the situation going on, they may not have that opportunity. So I think that all encompassing, I think there's a lot of reasons it's important, but I think the biggest reason is just the sense of family and togetherness and being able to play.
Right. It's hard to do like normal kid stuff when you have this horrible, debilitating illness.
Also, what makes it so important is, as I said before, families are really financially impacted and devastated. So because it is free, because we don't charge one single dollar, everybody can come. It's not just the child with cancer can come to our camp. Everyone in that family who is a child. And at our Long Island camp, our youngest child camper is 3.5, and we go all the way up to 18 years old. So if you have a sibling in that age range, or the child is, you're welcome at our camp. So we're providing this service to the families, because oftentimes what happens to the siblings is they hear a lot of no. When you have a child who has cancer, your world goes from yes to no. No, honey, we can't have a play date. No, honey, we can't afford dancing school anymore. No, honey, you can't go to soccer anymore because we can't afford it, or it's not safe for your brother or sister. At Sunrise, they can do all of that. And even if their brother and sister is in treatment, as Deanna said, sometimes children go into treatment, into isolation for 100 days. Well, that sibling can still come to camp if their child is in active treatment. They are still welcome to be part of our Sunrise family.
And I just want to add to that all of our camps are fully equipped with medical staff.
Yes.
So in addition to keeping, all of the medical records on file for all of the kids in the event that they need something, while we don't administer chemotherapy or do anything like that at camp, we are fully staffed with seasoned nurses who can attend to any child that might need something, whether or not they need medication throughout the day, or somebody gets a scrape or a bump or a bruise, which sometimes isn't treated like we would for a typical child. Because if a child with low white blood cells or low counts gets a scrape, there's a different regimen that we have to follow to make sure that they are safe and sound.
Well, you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about Sunrise Day Camp, a full summer day camp for children with cancer and their siblings, with Camp Director Deanna Slade and Vice President of SunriseWALKS and Standards, Aileen Hoffman.
Ladies, if you could tell us, suppose you said the camp is in Wheatley. Is this open to anyone on Long Island, or do they have to live in Nassau County or just the adjoining counties?
So for our Long Island site alone, we bus our children in from Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Nassau, and Suffolk. We also have, cars that drop, the families will bring their kids by cars. But we really serve all of those different communities.
And if someone wants to be involved, and obviously you've given us many wonderful reasons to be involved, how do they get in touch with you? Where is the main office? Email, phone?
Sure. So our Sunrise Association World Headquarters is located in Oceanside. And if anyone wants to get in touch with us, they can go to our website, www.sunriseassociation.org. And you'll be able to click through to learn about all of the variety of fundraising events that we do. If you're interested in volunteering, you can find out information at our website. If you're interested in becoming a staff member at our camp over the summer, you'll be able to find that information.
What a great way for personal growth for students. You told me students can volunteer, older people, college students, etc. So if someone is out there looking to do something good, this is a great opportunity, a great learning experience, and meeting a lot of wonderful people. It's time for a brief break, and we'll be right back after this message.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And now we return to My Hometown.
Thanks for being with us here today on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and today we're talking about Sunrise Day Camp, a full summer day camp for children with cancer and their siblings. And we're here with Camp Director Deanna Slade and Vice President of SunriseWALKS and Standards, Aileen Hoffman.
So tell us a little bit more about SunriseWALKS and Standards. What's the larger organization around this camp?
So SunriseWALKS is simply a walkathon, but so much more. And we have several walkathons around the country at each one of our regions. This past summer for our Long Island camp, we had over 3,200 people who came to our camp to raise money for Sunrise. We raised over $1 million at that one event. And we love our walk so much because it's an opportunity for people who are interested in learning about Sunrise to volunteer, to take a part in, and the culmination of it all is that people get to see the camp because we hold our walk at the camp. So people come, walk on the grounds where the children are experiencing that magic all summer long. So the walk is one way for folks to get involved. As we keep saying, we don't charge anything for our services. So we have walkathons, we have golf outings, we have dinners. So there's a variety of ways for people to get involved. If they are not interested in walking, but they like to golf, we have a golf outing. Or if they want to go to a cocktail party, we have a cocktail party. There's so many ways to get involved. So if you're interested in any capacity, you would just contact us and we'd find a way for you to participate and become part of our Sunrise family.
Corey and I are into cheeseburgers. Do you have a cheeseburger festival or a bacon cheeseburger?
Actually,
you
Bill,
do?
Barbecue?
this year at our walk, so we have a fantastic finish line carnival at the end of our walk. And we did this year, we had for the first time cheeseburgers. And
well, that's fair. You walk off the weight and then you put it back on.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. This is an organization.
Oh, we have cheeseburgers and popcorn.
I think you just got two new volunteers to sign. Mm-hmm.
Come, you could flip burgers or...
and we're willing to do that. You're going to miss the few because I'm going to say on my part, but that's all right.
We love to share.
Now, I see that. Now, you have something called Sunrise on Wheels. What's that?
So our Sunrise on Wheels program is our year-round in-hospital program. At this point, we've got over 40 in-hospital programs. It's volunteer-based only, and it's when our volunteers go into the HEMONC, which is hematology and oncology floors of the hospitals, and basically brings camp to the kids that may not be able to attend, or throughout the year when we're not running camping services. It's the whole point of it is to really make a very difficult experience much sweeter for the kids the best that we can. So we have these incredible volunteers that show up with this giant tie-dye trunk that's just filled with crafts and games for all ages. So while those kids are waiting for their treatment or to, just get checked up on, they're not sitting in a waiting room nervous or, just on their iPads. They're interacting with our incredibly happy, cheerful, excited volunteers and making the time go by a little bit faster. And then we also do bedside for the inpatients, for the inpatient floor, for those kids that might be in isolation or, those hours are long and it's hard to be there. And so the kids really look forward to our incredible volunteers with that big tie-dye trunk to show up. And truthfully, it's a way to, also our camp gets exposed. So really when those kids are feeling good and then they're so comfortable with our Wheels volunteers, it's a beautiful bridge that goes across from the hospital to the camp, where, our Wheels team tends to show up and join us on certain days, and the kids are just very comfortable and the families are very comfortable with our organization at that point.
Right. And all of this is 100% free.
100% free.
Get over that.
Well, you know what? But that's why we have our fundraisers. And just like Aileen was saying, our walk. Our walk is on Long Island. And we have walks at all of our camps, which Aileen spearheads all of them. But our walk on Long Island, in 2006, I was there, and we had about 100 people. And as Aileen said before, we had about 3,200 people this year. And in addition to it just being a really spectacular day, it's also the only day that it kicks off our summer. We have a ton of our campers and their families that join us. And it's also the only day for the entire summer that our campgrounds are not closed. Our campgrounds are closed campgrounds to anybody who isn't working or enrolled in our camp. So it's a great opportunity for volunteers and donors and anybody that wants to learn about our camp to get some exposure to the grounds, to see some of our kids, to meet some of the people that are involved, and to just get themselves involved. And while we have volunteer opportunities in the hospital that you have to be 18 or older, and we have volunteer opportunities at all of our camps where you have to be 16 or older. For the walk in particular, you can be any age. My daughter is 13. All of my kids, 10, 8, and 13, they've been helping for the past few years, whether or not it's in our team village doing crafts with the kids before the walk or at our beautiful Finish Line Carnival. Any age, you can come and volunteer or join a team or be part of a team. It's a really wonderful experience for an incredible cause. And so, the money that we raise there goes directly to our programs at camp.
Right.
Well, you are listening to My Hometown on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 at WHPC. My name is Corey Kaufman, along with Bill Horan, and today we're talking about the Sunrise Day Camp, a full summer day camp for children with cancer and their siblings, with Camp Director Deanna Slade and Vice President of SunriseWALKS and Standards, Aileen Hoffman.
Ladies, you were just talking, this is the perfect lead-in, about the different events you have. Someone who's hearing this, and so many people want to have a little more purpose in their life, and maybe they can't afford a lot of time, or they can and they're just looking for the right outlet. You said to me before, you accept volunteers basically from all age ranges. So would you give us, I'll say, a free commercial to tell us if someone wants to volunteer, how they get in touch with you? Do they need any special qualifications, a letter from their principal or from the AARP?
No letter required.
No letter, okay.
We make it as simple as possible. All you need to do is have a desire to want to make a difference for children with cancer and their siblings. So you could, again, reach us at our website, sunriseassociation.org, or you can call us and ask to speak to Sunrise. Deanna, the number.
The phone number is 516-766-4341. Be sure to ask for somebody at the Sunrise Association, and you'll be directly connected.
That was a nice transition. You were doing everything. You said, Deanna, give the number, and she had it.
Yeah,
she didn't hesitate for a second. That's a very well planned.
We
Good
don't skip a
organization.
beat at Sunrise. We don't skip one beat.
I see that. And I'm going to add something in there, too. If someone is listening to the show or maybe missed a part of it and they know someone or they come across someone who unfortunately needs the camp or has children with cancer, they can go to nccradio.org. That's easy enough to remember, NCC for Nassau Community College, radio.org. They can go to My Hometown and the show on your camp and find out all the information or refer it to the parent who can then get in touch with you. And before the end of the show, in case our listeners didn't get that information down, we'll again ask you to give us the details, how they can contact you and get involved in the camp. Now, we always think of the camp as a summer camp. That's just the way the mentality goes. But you told me you have programs year-round, correct?
We do.
Fill us in on that, please.
Absolutely. In addition to our in-hospital programs, which are 12 months out of the year, but our full summer day camp, it's about 7.5 weeks, and that's every day consistently. But once the camp season ends, we want to keep our community connected the best that we possibly can. So 1 to 2 times a month, we send out an invite to all of our campers and all of our staff for some sort of reunion. We call it Sunrise Sundays because they usually fall on a Sunday, and when it's not on a Sunday, it's a Sunrise Fun Day. And
I like that. Good marketing.
Thanks.
You wrote that down.
I'm writing it down.
But we do so many different things. There's crafts. We have, different companies that come in to play game shows with the kids. We send our kids out bowling. We go to the movies. We have giant parties. Anything we do to keep our family connected. And Sunrise truly is a family, and I'm so proud to say that genuinely, because it feels really good to be together. And the kids get so excited about it. As I mentioned before, we've got kids that live in the Bronx, and then we've got kids that live in Suffolk County, and these kids are connected in a way that you couldn't even imagine. And this might be the only opportunity for them to see each other throughout the year. We do have access to social media. We have, FaceTime. We have, our phones. We have all sorts of things. But there's nothing like seeing two friends get together and the synergy between them, or 10 friends get together and get so excited for those days. And that's also free of charge. And so the money that we raise also filters into that program that is so important for us.
And any event or day, big holiday, we always look forward to it. It's the anticipation is part of it. You wait for it. So having these spread out, I'm sure that the kids have a little adversity in life, let's put it that way, that at least they can look forward to that fun Sunday or Sunday. How did you say it?
Sunday fun day.
Sunrise fun day. I like
right,
that.
or sunrise, sunrise Sunday or a sunrise fun day.
We got to work on that for the new T-shirts after the show. But really, that's something
me for a second.
They can all work on it and anticipate it, which makes it even more fun. And then come back, they've got a little social currency to talk about it, what they did and their new friends, and really take away from the negativity of what they're going through.
It keeps you going through the year. So just tell us a little bit about, what are the camps like? What are some of the activities and some of the amenities that you have at these camps?
Sure. So, I spoke briefly before about just the benefits of camping for any typical child, and our children are also typical children, who deserve the exact same opportunities as anybody else. But we do what most camps do. We have, sports, so we have volleyball and kickball and soccer, and we have yoga and drama and theater and arts and crafts and science, and we have a STEAM program, and we have maker spaces, and we have a playground. We have a beautiful tree house. The grounds are so beautiful, but, we also have to have some modifications put in place that's consistent across the board. So there are children that may not be able to do certain things because of some medical or physical limitations. So we offer both high energy and low energy options to all of our campers when they get to camp at the beginning of the day.
That's for me. I like that.
But we don't want anybody to feel singled out, so they can choose whatever they want, and there's no questions asked.
Before we wrap up in 10 seconds, once again, how do people contact you to be part of this wonderful organization?
So they can come to our website, www.sunriseassociation.org, or they can call us at
516-766-4341.
And you can see these magic ladies do this transformation back and forth with their phone number. We want to thank our special guests today, Deanna Slade and Aileen Hoffman from the Sunrise Day Camp, a full summer day camp for children with cancer and their siblings. Thanks so much for being with us on My Hometown.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Corey Kaufman, and we thank you for listening to this week's edition of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC@ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.